So Gaffer sat here ahead of Solihull coming to Meadow Park on Saturday, but let's talk about the previous week. After back-to-back defeats, we took 4 points from Altrincham and Bromley, so a pleasing week for yourself.
Yeah, listen, to go to Altrincham and to win 3-2 and come away from a side that are having a fantastic season and a side that I believe plays some really exciting football, and to come back to South with 3 points is a very good return. Obviously, we take the lead against Bromley, and I don't think we go full throttle and don't go for the jugular, and that's disappointing. To go and get 6 points would be an unbelievable return, probably would have seen us into 7th spot in the playoffs, but fundamentally we stopped the rot. We was lost against Sutton, lost against Yeovil, and to go and get 4 points in 2 games has been a good return.
So you look at those 2 games, and 3/4 of the way through, we would have taken 6 points after a dominating first half performance against Bromley. Second half begins, and Bromley come out firing on all cylinders. They score, and then 2 massive saves from Nathan Ashmore keep us in the game. At that point, a point is a good result for us.
For all our dominance, we don't really work their goalkeeper. I have to say, I thought Cousins didn't really have much to do. Corey obviously does a brilliant bit of work down the left-hand side prior to Tyrone Marsh's goal, and probably a different choice of finish. Probably it comes and inside and slots it into the far post. But we take the lead, and like you say, I felt that we were probably the team in the ascendancy in the first half. We had some good passages of play, but really didn't really affect Cousins. And I got to be honest, they come out and, like every team in the National League, you have your moments. I felt that we were in the ascendancy against Sutton, and the goal changed the game. And when you're on top, you've got to have a little bit more killer, a little bit more ruthlessness. And when they're having their moment, which I felt they did, and I don't think we managed their 15-minute spell well enough, and they went and got their goal. And in fairness, if it weren't for Ash, it could have easily been 2-3-1 to Bromley, and it was 2 great saves from him that kept us in the game. And then we go and have half chances towards the latter stages of the game, and then, like I say in my programme notes, we give them an opportunity with Charlie Wakefield to take Femi one-on-one, and Femi recovery is superb. So it's the management of the game that we're looking at and we're addressing as a management team to get better at, because when we have our spell, I think we need to create more chances and have a little bit more ruthlessness.
You talk about that, and it's been a common theme of the season so far, and it's ironic that we play Solihull and we talk about this. In the reverse fixture at their game, we're the better side, dominating the game. They have a player sent off in Darren Carter, and we have chance after chance, which we don't take. A defensive mistake lets Rooney not through on goal, but gives him the opportunity to get a shot away, and he does what Rooney does at this level. Is that something that we need to sort of work on? I'm sure you're working on already, but we need to improve on in taking those chances when we are on top.
Listen, we say it, hitting the back of the net in training is fundamental, getting into your habits, doing the things that we know that we can do. We paint great pictures to get into some very good areas, and having the belief to get your shots off and then following things in, tapping it in from 6 yards. We don't score spunky goals. Teams score spunky goals against us. And is that luck? Is that people in the right positions? I don't know. It's something that we need to be better at. And you touched on it. I watched the Solihull game back to see how we counteracted their style, because they have a very good style. They have a unique shape. And he gets them playing in a manner that is expansive, expressive. And when I watched it back, you got Corey Whiteley. In the first 20 minutes, we had Corey Whiteley 2 opportunities. Zane and goal inside the 6-yard box. Then later on, you had Reedy with a header, ball across the face for Tom Champ. So, yeah, there's a frustration, because if you change your chances at Wrexham at the start of the season, at Solihull, at Dagenham here early on, you probably wouldn't be 9 points from 9 in the first stages of the season. And if you then were to say pick up 6-7 points more in that early stages, look where would we be in the table. So yeah, probably a lot of managers are discussing the same things as what we're talking about now, and having that killer instinct, because they could have probably turned draws into wins and losses into draws. So it's a conundrum we are trying to solve. But yeah, I spoke to Corey Whiteley about getting shots off, Marshy shots off, Cab shots off, June shots off, following bits in, crosses from either side, Kane getting in the box, which he did on Saturday against Altrincham. So it's just combining the two now, getting the ball in there and getting a runner. So the combination of two needs to hit regular for us to get the results we want.
So we played Solihull early in the season, as I alluded to, and they had a player sent off in Darren Carter. At that point, where you expect us to dominate the game, Solihull were brave in respect to how they set up their team. They have a brave brand of football where they try and play out and they force the ball onto each other. With 11 players on the pitch and coming here on Saturday on a fantastic surface, they're going to relish that opportunity. 100%,
but like I said, in the first 21, 22 minutes prior to the sending off, we were the only team that I felt were on the front foot. They had a breakaway with Sabara that down the right hand side, cut inside, and we got a great block off. But other than that, it was a lot of our ascendancy, a lot of our play in their half. You say it, they split the box, back three go into the centre half, into the 18-yard box. The midfield four go and spread, the two on the top of the box go and look to find little pockets, and Rooney will be the vocal point. So they have two ways of playing. You've got Ryan Boot in goal, who I think's top three, top two goalkeeper in the division. He got great quality, great distribution, unbelievable shot stopper. He's got an unbelievable squad there. You could probably look at it and say, is he underachieving with them personnel? They've got 2 or 3 games in hand on teams. If they win them 2 or 3 games, yes, it propels them up the level. But for me, yeah, we play a nice brand of football. We can get it across the back, play through the thirds. It's just whether we identify when we're being full pressed, when they're being full pressed, who makes the right decisions on the day, because fundamentally it's 11v11, and the minute they cross their white line, it's who wants it more.
So we mentioned this a few games ago, and it's hard to do a double over any team in this division. Solihull come to Meadow Park with that opportunity on Saturday. We're going to have to be right at it in order to stop that from happening.
Yeah, listen, like we have to. We got 22 games now, and if we want to achieve what we all want to set out to do from the offset, we need to go and win games of football. Solihull, for me, are a playoff contender. I believe this is a 6-pointer Saturday. Why? Because they have ambitions to get into the playoffs. They have a manager that I believe is a top 7 manager at this division. They have a squad that I believe is a top 7 squad in this division. And at the minute they're sitting 15th. You look at Eastleigh that have gone and propelled themselves up to 3rd, 4th in the table after having an unbelievable February. For us, it's ensuring that we go about our business. We can finish off with a win on Saturday with 13 points from the last 7 games in the month of February. That's 2 points a game, just short of. That's championship form. So for me, our focus is a 7-point week. Spoke about it after my post-match interview on Tuesday. The focus with the group today. We worked really well today. Spoke about how they play, how I want us to play, where we're going to get joy, where they might get joy, and we got to nullify that. Worked on it, talked with the group. It was a good question and answer session yesterday and today. So a lot of things that we've worked on, hopefully we can implement them come 3 o'clock on Saturday. And when given opportunity, we take it, and when they're served up an opportunity, we're relentless and blocking, getting bodies in the way to not concede and get clean sheets, because fundamentally when we get a clean sheet we win more than we lose.
So you mentioned that, and Solihull obviously are where they are. They've got a number of games in hand, and if they take the points total that they want to, they'll be in and around the playoffs, if not in the playoffs. Ourselves, we're right on the verge, and then up on points that on Tuesday evening we got back into the playoff positions, and it is one of those 6-point games that you allude to, because over the last 2 months we've had a number of opportunities in this respect where we've been on the edge and we haven't quite taken those opportunities. Are the boys starting to sort of feel that and think we've got to take one of these opportunities sooner rather than later?
We need to go on a run. You look at the consistency of Sutton, the consistency of Torquay to an extent. They've had a little dip. And now Eastleigh, they've come out of the pack. If you go consistent in the National League and put wins on the board and fundamentally don't draw and lose games of football, you give yourself an outside opportunity. When you go and win one, lose one, draw one, win one, lose one, draw one, you leave yourself exposed. And for us, we've gone and put back-to-back unbeaten run. We need to put a win on the board Saturday. If we want to, like I said, if we want to achieve where we want to get to, winning these games are fundamental. You touched on it. They beat us at their place. Do I think we shadowed it? I do. I think they were very fortunate to go and win a game of football. But like you said, Adam Rooney, he's played at this level now 2-3 years, won it with or got promoted with Salford, he found the only space that was available for him to hit, and he hit the inside of the post, and that's why they pay him the money they pay him. So for me, no disrespect to Solihull, no disrespect to James Shan, it's how this dressing room goes to work on Saturday, how myself and the management go to work on Saturday, and the focus is 3 points, because we don't want to be in a position where we go back-to-back losses again and we find ourselves 13th, 14th. We need to be in a position where we get ourselves nestled into the playoffs, and being consistent to stay there.